Everyone get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, and welcome to World of Artillery! Yeah. Now this isn't another replay from the good old days. I did actually recently have one from Halluf back in patch 8.0. This is actually from patch 8.9. It's really not that long ago. And yes, oh my god, would you look at all that artillery. And if that wasn't bad enough, we're bottom tier. And on the enemy team, there is in fact a platoon of Batchat 155-58s, aka the revolver artillery. Oh yes, isn't this going to be fun? Now, this is actually one from the stream with Circon and Jingle, so it was obviously a Monday stream. They're both in AC-48s, Tier 8 tank destroyers, and I'm in my Caernarvon. And actually, I could be in worse tanks for this kind of thing, because this is the kind of situation where everybody gets turned into a scout tank, whether they like it or not. So yeah, this is going to be fun, you guys. At least the Caernarvon, like I've said, it's not the worst tank for this situation, because it has 400 meter view range, and I actually use coated optics on mine, because it's got quite a good turret actually. It's very good for doing peekaboo spotting over bits of terrain, and it's not quite as bouncy as say the T-32 turret, but it's pretty good, and that the optics, the 440 view range gives me a pretty good chance of spotting stuff, unless they're behind heavy cover, like lots of bushes, or they've got good camo value, whatever. So this could be worse. I could be in my I could be in my KV4 or something like that. I mean, I don't even want to think about if I'd been in my KV4, to be honest. Not with this amount of artillery around. That would have been. I'm gonna have nightmares about that tonight. So there are a couple of actual scouts on each side, but as you can see, one of ours is down already. Our Batchat 25T is down already. The enemy's already lost 2 tanks. They do actually have 3 scouts, and we've just encountered one, 5916. Our 12T, you see, is up there. He's not going to last very long. This 5916 was quite important that we take him out, and it's like the actual scouts are more dangerous than the proper, air quotes, tanks in this match. Because, well, you've just seen there's one Batchat artillerist just put a shell in my face. That's a loader out, and yeah, I didn't need those 600 hit points anyway. And he's still trying. So I'm having a good wiggle around here. I don't want to sit still. I would like not to be annihilated, thank you very much. So it's just me and the Circon at this corner right now, and ordinarily this would be a bad situation for a pair of tier 8s to be in when they're bottom tier. But because of the interesting nature of this match, it's actually, you know, all the normal rules are turned on their head kind of thing, because we're literally just spotting for artillery. We're not expecting to have to do much damage ourselves, because artillery. And if we sit still expecting to be able to shoot people and do damage ourselves, we're just going to get nuked by artillery. So we know the VKB's down there. There's an M5 Stuart. The WZ, we know where he is, and we know where the T-54E1 is. So that just leaves a T-57 heavy unaccounted for at the moment, and the rest are all artillery. We're actually down to 5-5 already, and just taking a little peek there. It's really just a case of crossing our fingers and hoping our artillery is good enough, and that RNGesus is merciful and actually allows our artillery to actually hit stuff, and likewise that their artillery misses stuff. So we're on this corner now, which is actually, it gives us some modicum of protection from enemy artillery shells. And yeah, I think even the Batchat 155 could easily one-shot either of us, to be honest. If they had a penetrating hit that was a high enough roll, I think they could do it. So we're both being incredibly cautious. I'm actually going to speed this up very slightly, because this was so interesting, you guys. So interesting to play. Obviously it was very interesting for everyone on the stream as well. Now that WZ-111 is pushing up, and Jingles is the only one there at the moment. And boom, Jingles gets in, which is good. Jingles has actually got 2 kills now. Unfortunately, he's not going to last much longer. But those 2 kills are going to have been quite important, I think. I'm not sure what the first thing he killed was, but the WZ-111, if he'd managed to get up there and spot our artillery, that would have been it. Game over. So, oh, there's VK pushing. I try one for him, but it bounces. The M5 Stuart was very optimistically pelting me with... God, it wasn't even the mini derp he had, it was the terrible 37mm. Not even 37mm, it was the... God, was it a Browning or something? I can't remember. It's pretty terrible. The autocannon thing, anyway. So I'm backing up into cover. Naturally, Jingles not quite best pleased about being nuked by artillery, but I think honestly he was just like, right, I can just sit back and relax now. I don't have to be in that horrible. Oh, look at the shells. God, it's like the Battle of the Somme out here, except without the you know. Okay, maybe not quite like the Battle of the Somme, but there's lots of artillery, is what I'm saying. So I'm trying to peek and light up this VKB, who is not artillery safe right now, but he's being sensible and staying somewhere where I can't spot him, which makes him effectively artillery safe, even if he isn't actually behind cover that would block artillery shells. Not being spotted is the same thing as being behind cover where you wouldn't be able to read a book in this kind of, you know, look at the shells. Oh my god, look at the shells. Well, they really wanted me. Now, I will say this for our arty, they actually were pretty good. At least some of them. And what's more, they were actually, at least some of them, were communicating with us, and that was quite important. Now, the Su-14-1 actually wanted me and Circon to fall back to, I think, probably A4, and tempt this VKB round the corner, so that, whoa, that was a bit close, so that artillery would have a better shot at him. But the thing is, if me and Circon had attempted that, we would have been much easier to hit for enemy artillery, so moving wasn't a good idea. Wow, you've got to admire that Stuart's optimism. That's the word, right? So, I desperately don't want to get shot by friendly artillery. I don't want to get shot by enemy artillery, but oh, there we go. VKB was... You could tell that moment where he just pulled into the spot where Artie could shoot him because he just went and evaporated. Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for that guy. But they really want me. They really do. Oh dear. Right, let's give it a moment. We want to disappear off their radar before we actually go round the corner. So it's been a couple of seconds. I'm going to take a peek round. The M5 Stuart is still there. If he's smart, he'll have run away. Oh, yep, there he is. But we can nail him, and that's the last proper scout out of the game. But the thing is, they're still aimed on that corner. So, boom. Yeah. Repair kit, yes please. I'm quite glad I still had that I hadn't used that already, because look what, yeah. There's about 3 shells fall in very close succession. Pretty much, well, I think at least one of them would have missed, but, you know, I really can't take even a bit of splash damage at this point. 335, I'm a one-shot kill for artillery, I'm a one-shot kill for the T-57 Heavy, and I'm probably a 2-shot kill for the T-54E1, but it's artillery that's going to nail us if anything. So that T-57 Heavy is full health. He's a big danger, but we kind of have the upper hand at this point. They're very much on the defensive. The T-30 has actually moved up. The Jagdtiger hasn't because he's not the fastest, but you can see their artillery is suggesting a path for him to follow, and he actually will do in a bit. I don't think he does it right at this moment, but me and Circon at the moment basically just trying to spot, and that T-30 also, he's going to try and stay on the slope and use that to his advantage. So there's that T-54E1. I think I might have a shot, so I'm going to trundle around this bit. He does put a shot in, which is good, but the guy actually nails him for quite a lot of damage. And unfortunately I just miss. Not that I would have been able to kill him anyway, but okay, I'm spotted. I should probably pull back. Artillery gets him. The T-30 has paid quite a heavy cost though, down to 74 health. He's even worse off than I am. And there's one artillery shell. I kind of figured they wouldn't be looking in my direction, so I had a good chance I'd be able to pull back in time. The fact that, you know, if they have to swing round, their aim is going to be that much less accurate. If you're sat in the same space for a long time, or if they're waiting for you to come around a corner or whatever, that's really dangerous. So Circon is like, they know Circon's there. If they're all pre-aimed on this corner and we go round that corner, that's incredibly risky. We might just evaporate like that VK-45B evaporated. Anyway, the last proper tank left on their team is the T-57 Heavy, and it really is a case of us spotting. And we've done better than I think some of the others. The Bat Chat, if he'd stayed alive, the T-54, they could have been really powerful, and instead it's down to, you know, a Caernarvon and an AC-48. The T-30 is out of commission. You see there the Jagdtiger on the minimap, he's actually on the move now, and oh, there's one Bat Chat arty. That was not really very well aimed, but that was a very narrow window to actually hit that guy. And again, falling back, because if they're pre-aimed on this corner, don't want any of that, really don't. So I could go around here, but this is a perfect kind of funnel for artillery. Plus there's a T-57 Heavy there. Don't want any of that. And hello, there's the Tier 8 French arty, the Lorraine 155. Well, okay, interesting place to be. Jagdtiger gets him, and that's one less arty to worry about. I really don't want to go around that corner. I mean, it's not worth the risk. It really isn't. Even if I was at full health, the T-57 is a massive threat. And if I went round there and he was there waiting for me, even if he missed all his shells, even if artillery missed, I would need our artillery to basically one-shot him. Anyway, so we'll go around the outside. We'll stay on the outside slope, and I'm gonna have to really trusting my my optics here, my view range. Try and peekaboo and basically see if I can't spot anything. Now Circon he's a bit further south. I think he's more trying to spot artillery at this point. I'm more concerned with the T-57 Heavy. If the T-57 Heavy, I mean, it could kill either one of us. I think it does enough damage in one clip to nail a Tier 8 anything, pretty much. So if he catches either of us, we're both dead. The difference is, it'll take a couple of shots to kill Circon. It'll only take one shot to kill me. So he's not there. And we're winning at this point, 10-7, but we're down to the last 3 minutes now. It's like, it's one of those matches where you just know right from the beginning that it's going to be painful, win or lose, it's going to be painful. And the fact is, and I will say this, even though a lot of people wanted an arty hard cap of 3 rather than 5, and even though this was a pretty painful match to play, it wasn't fun by any means. It was like, okay, it was like doing your tax return or something. Like, okay, we're going to do this. And I'm sure Jingles was actually not at all displeased about being taken out so early, and that he could sit back and not be stressing. And but the fact is, this kind of match with 5 arty per team, especially at high tiers, this is a rarity. It doesn't happen that often these days. So I could have sat here the whole time and gone, oh, artillery isn't that terrible. Nice shooting there, Jedi, by the way. Nice shooting. But the fact is, this doesn't happen very often at all. And the reason I'm showing this is because it is a rarity, and it's a kind of an unpleasant reminder of what it was like in the, air quotes, good old days when you could have 10 artillery per team. Oh god, I don't even want to, you know, I wasn't playing high tiers back at the point before they actually introduced the arty hard cap, and I'm quite thankful for that, to be honest. I could do without that particular piece of nostalgia. So we've won. This is their arties have taken out, and it's just the T-57 and the last Bat Chat arty. So Circon's going after the last Bat Chat arty. I know roughly where the T-57 is. I'm trying to spot him without getting nailed myself, and there he is. Oh, once again, well done. Nice shooting there. Have I just taken a fraction of a moment to aim better? But he's going after Circon, which is bad news. Our Bat Chat arty, look, he's up there. He's about to meet our GWE 100. And he's going to get a nasty surprise to the face. But I can at least... there he goes, takes a big arty hit. And, yeah, look at Circon. He's doing a full-on Zoidberg move there. The GWE 100 did, he redeemed himself slightly in terms of, you know, he was a scumbag, but he took out another scumbag face to face. And there we go, the T-57 Heavy is down, and we've won. So if somebody, I think like the T-54 or the Bat Chat had stayed alive all the way through, they actually might have been in with a chance of getting a Birders medal, and that's the only thing to be said for seeing 5 artillery on a team these days. The only way to get Birders medal is to kill 5 enemy SPGs, and that is really, really hard to do these days because, like I said, this is a rarity. You don't see them. You don't see that very often. But I think the Yak Tiger killed 2. Zircon killed, I don't know, 1 maybe. No, I don't think it did kill 1. But I think our artillery actually killed the rest. It's just a matter of everyone was a scout and no one particularly had fun doing it. Zircon actually got 2.5k assistance damage, spotting damage basically. I got 2.2k, and that's how we're top score. And I mean, look at the scores. We were tier 8s in a tier 10 match, and our scores are pretty terrible. Those are the kind of scores, if you'd done okay in a top tier match, then you would expect to get kind of 886. Zircon got, I got 758. But the fact is, because it was all artillery, and the only way to get any XP was really effectively through spotting damage, the scores are pretty bad. Normally, if you're doing really well, if you get top score in a tier 8 and a tier 10 match, your score is good, but not in this case. So, yeah, I can't say that any of us really had fun doing that one, somehow. I think we all needed a quiet sit down in the corner after that. But as I've said, at least luckily it doesn't happen that often. So yeah, we don't have to have painful matches like that very often. At least not painful for those reasons anyway. So if you enjoyed this painful reminder of what the past used to be like to some extent, you can hit the like button. You can leave a comment below. You can check out my Facebook page. And of course, as always, stay tuned for more.